morning. Straight pomegranate tea this morning. It's really good. Very hot. How's everyone? Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Days are kind of blurring together at this point again. So let's just get started. Okay. We are going to talk about today 8 tips for falling asleep. Now, we've talked about already 8 tips for sleeping better, but what about like if you're having trouble actually getting to sleep? So for me, like I can stay up forever and ever and ever, and I can't really fall asleep sometimes. And a lot of the time when I do fall asleep, I sleep pretty hard. So that's pretty good. So that's why I want to talk about the 8 tips for actually falling asleep, because I was looking into it the other day. So tip number 8. I liked this list. I found this on the Mindful magazine website. I've talked about Mindful magazine on here plenty of times. Highly recommend it. So yeah, this information all came from Mindful magazine. So tip number 8 was to be a beginner. And I was like, what the heck are you talking about, Jason? I don't get what you're saying to me. But he basically is saying each night is a new night to try something new. So don't get discouraged if you can't fall asleep one night and like, let's say you just didn't try anything and then you recognize like, oh, I can't fall asleep. Okay. So then the next night you're like, crap, I can't fall asleep again. Like try something new, right? I mean, it can't hurt to just try it. If you're not sleeping, you might as well give something new a try. So he talked about counting to 100. And I was like, I've never counted to 100. But what I have done and what has worked very successfully for me is kind of putting each body part to sleep. So I start at my toes, I work all the way up my body, and usually by the time I get into like my midsection, I don't remember anymore, and I'm probably asleep. So that's a good way to do it too. So tip number 8 is to just be a beginner, you guys. Okay, number 7, don't force it. What happens when you try to force something? Like it never works out. Same with sleep. The more you try to force it, the less you're going to actually sleep. Yeah, it stresses you out. It just keeps your wheels going upstairs. So try not to force things. That's number 7. Tip number 6, stop shoulding all over yourself. This one works on every level of your life. You should never should all over yourself. But seriously, if you're holding on to an idea of like how much sleep you should get or what time you should go to bed, like it creates this stress. It makes it like, oh, I didn't do it, so now I've failed. You didn't fail. You just didn't go to sleep. It's not a big deal, right? I think we put too much pressure on ourselves with certain things. So maybe can you try letting go of the should and just allow sleep, any type of sleep, just to happen? Probably. Give it a try. Okay, number 5. No judging is allowed. So I kind of just touched on it. So it's easy to judge being awake instead of asleep as bad, right? So you put like this judgment on it. And especially if you haven't slept well for like 5 nights, you're like, you want to sleep. So you're definitely putting it as like a bad thing that you're not sleeping. But that can actually just interfere then with your sleep. It like works against you just by putting that judgment on there. So instead of labeling it as good or bad, is there a way you can think about it that just feels less judgmental? Maybe. Might as well try. All right, number 4 on our 8 tips for falling asleep is acceptance. Yes, I know it sounds corny, but recognizing and accepting something is what? Always the first step in anything. Step number 1, recognize and accept that your current state is an important step in choosing how to respond. So if you can accept that sleep is not likely to come soon, because you know yourself and you know that you're not about to fall asleep, get out of bed. Like go do something away from the place that you're supposed to be sleeping. Make your bed a designated place for sleep. So when we get into the habit of, okay, I can't sleep, I'm going to grab my iPhone or whatever and play a game or scroll through Facebook. When you start doing that in bed, then that tells your brain every time you get in bed, that's what you're going to do. When really your bed is reserved for sleep. and other fun things, right? But we're just talking about sleep right now, guys. Simmer down. Simmer down. Okay, so just accept that, Amanda, good morning. Anyway, acceptance is number 4. So spending long periods of time awake in bed might just keep you awake in bed, okay? Number 3, set yourself up for success. And this kind of goes back a little bit to the 8 tips for sleeping better that I discussed. However, I think it's a very important thing. Set your room up, right? Make it as comfy and cozy as possible. Make your bed exactly what you need to sleep successfully in. A warm, a heated blanket or a weighted blanket or just a bunch of blankets and pillows and cats and, whatever you need that you love to sleep with. Make sure you have that stuff there. No TV. I know that's hard for some people, but try it out. Try not having the TV or a computer or a screen on of any kind while in bed. It really does work. Set that routine up that you do every single night so that your body knows, like, okay, after I brush the teeth and feed the cats and do this and drink my water, then I go to bed, right? Like, a routine will help you fall asleep. Easy as that. So there's something else too that I was reading about, and it was melatonin. And I know some family members of mine are definitely into the melatonin, and I've taken it multiple times when I've had bouts of not being able to fall asleep. And so it's a hormone that your body produces naturally, but you can take supplements, of course, to help with that. And it signals to your brain that it's time to sleep, basically, in a nutshell. So if you're having some problems, might as well try it. Go back to number 8, try something new, right? Number 2 on our 8 tips for falling asleep this morning is to stop resisting and just trust. So I find in so many aspects of my life, when I stop the resistance to a thing, that it just comes easier and it comes natural and it feels good and I love it. So stop resisting it. Trust that your body and that your mind know what they're doing, really. Our bodies and our minds, they have this amazing capability of self-regulating, right? And self-correcting. They're constantly trying to heal from the crap that we're doing to it. So trust that your body and your mind know how to self-correct this, okay? When you think about it too, short consolidated sleep, even if you get let's say you get 6 hours of good solid sleep, right? It's good and solid, right? You feel good, you wake up, you're yeah, this is great. If you sleep for 9 hours, but you're in and out of sleep and it's you're all over the board, it's not solid, it's not good sleep. You wake up and you're freaking tired. That sucks. Right? So anyway, and just listen to your body, listen to your mind. They know what's up, okay? Kind of trust and stop resisting. Stop resisting yourself. Okay, and the number 1 thing on this 8 tips for falling asleep, and I was okay, corny again, was patience. Just be patient. Again, you can't force something. You have to be patient. When I read this, I was thinking about Star Wars, which is kind of funny, and in my head popped in Yoda, and he's patience you must have. And I'm not going to do an impression of it because that would be horrible, but that's where my brain went. So patience you must have, right? To quote the great and powerful Yoda. But if you've been in a cycle of sleeplessness, it can take time for quality and quantity sleep to build up appropriately in your body. Kind of to fall into a more natural rhythm, right? Your body likes to create those habits too. So just be patient and keep trying to get that sleep. It is so important for your health, your well-being, your mental state, everything, to get some good solid sleep every night. So make sure you try it. Make sure you, try one of these tips tonight. Let me know what happens. Let me know if you get to sleep on time. Okay. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a happy Thursday. If you want to connect more with me on your health and wellness goals, I'd be absolutely delighted. You can go to rootdownwellbeing.com and just start with a free wellness profile, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, Take care. Love you all. Hey, Eric. Good morning. See you guys. Bye.